Welcome to our web exclusive. I'm Mike Montecalvo, along with Eyewitness News analyst Lieutenant General Reginald Centracchio. General, we're going to talk about benefit cuts for the military, but first let's talk about security. As the Olympics are coming up, we're understanding that Russia has spent about $50 billion on security so far for the games, and the United States is not happy because they're not sharing information. Why?
Exactly. I think it has much to do with this is mine. If I fail with it, I'll have an opportunity, speaking from Putin's point of view, I'll have an opportunity to say that we didn't get the support, versus saying, well, I gave all my support to much as he possibly could and still retain ownership of that. He's obviously not looking at the political ramifications as he is for his own political embellishment, if you will. You
know, a week ago, General, we talked about not sharing information in Benghazi, and look how that turned out.
Exactly.
A similar thing could happen here.
Exactly. And when you look at it, you say, why? Well, you know, we think differently, obviously, than Russia does. But if something happened, this is not unique to Russia. This is an international event that has ramifications around the world, with many countries participating. So why we're getting the kind of cooperation or non-cooperation at this particular juncture is somewhat a question that needs to be asked.
Well, the U.S. State Department has issued a warning to all Americans who are planning on attending the Winter Games. One thing the State Department is extremely concerned about, General, if there is a terrorist attack, how do you get Americans out of the country?
Mike, that's a very good point, and one that should be concentrated on. You know, they're looking at having a tremendous ring around the Olympics, not being able to get in. The same thing applies to being able to get out. And in order for us to be successful at evacuating Americans, there needs to be some pre-positioned capability outside that ring, and an ability to get from the Olympics area outside that ring of protection, if you will, to the evacuation. I don't think that's in place, and it would be a tremendous challenge to be able to extract Americans in the midst of all that would unfold should there be some significant terrorist attack.
General, we saw an Islamic militant group from southern Russia, they're claiming, attack Russia, killing 34 people. What kind of groups are they looking at? You're looking at just about every group possible, correct?
Absolutely. You're looking at anyone who has some claim to be doing whatever they're doing in the name of some significant cause that they have. So not only are we looking at that same group that caused some pretty significant damage in Russia, we're looking at small splinter groups from not only Al-Qaeda, but other insurgencies throughout the entire region that would try to come in and make some impact on terrorism within the Olympics themselves.
You know, General, go back to the '72 Olympics in Munich, Germany. Obviously, we saw what happened there. That was a different time. If we had the security we had today, back then in '72, that probably would not have happened.
I don't think that you would have seen that because of the kind of security that we have today, even with what Russia has around the Olympics. It would be somewhat impossible, and I shouldn't say impossible, but highly improbable that they would be able to pull off what they did back in '72.
You concerned?
I'm concerned because I think, once again, we go right back to the thing that you and I have been talking about for the last several weeks. Sharing information is absolutely essential to any successful plan to prevent it.
All right, let's switch gears for a moment, General. Congress cuts military benefits to retirees. They're breaking a promise to Persian Gulf, Afghan, and Iraq veterans?
Yes, they are. What they're looking at is a formula that would take away, in essence, 1% per year of a COLA. It's part of a military retirement package for those who have not reached age 62. Well, if you look at that bracket, that's clearly those veterans that served in the Persian Gulf, Iraq, and certainly Afghanistan. That's breaking a promise that was made. Now, once you make these kinds of decisions, it's very hard to get them reversed. But it has an impact on when kids raise their right hand to put themselves in harm's way. You can't be breaking promises.
Well, you're talking about 1%. Forget about restoring it. How long does that 1% reduction continue?
You know, I don't think it's been articulated well. They just started with the application being in this budget cycle. Whether it continues for the next several budget cycles, I'm not aware of that, and I hope it would not. But I think it's just the first, and we've used this term before, the camel getting its nose under the tent. Once you start fooling around with military benefits, you have a huge problem.
All right, General Centracchio, as always, thank you for your thoughts, and thanks for watching.